14 वर्ष बयसरू भारतीय नौसेना जोग देइथिले। द्वितीय विश्वयुद्ध थिले वीर योद्धा। ये हेउछंती एडमिरल एस.एच. शर्मा, जी कि 1971 विजय रे युद्ध जहाज विक्रांतर थिले कमांडर। एहारि भितरे एही वीर पुत्रं को 98 वर्ष बयस हो सारे। हेले आम ओडिशा रे एमिति जने विशिष्ट व्यक्ति अछंती, एहा समस्तंको दृष्टि आडुआल रे। सुनंतु तांको संपर्क रे।
वाइस एडमिरल शर्मा 98 इयर्स ओल्ड। आंकुर योगदान 71 वार रे बहुत आमर एटा अंडर प्ले कराही। से सेतले विक्रांत ईस्टर्न कमांड रो चीफ थिले, विक्रांत रो कैप्टन थिले। आउ 71 वार तांकर जो योगदान थिला सेटा हिस्ट्री तांको ड्यू प्लेस देला नहीं। ये फॉर सम रीजन और द अदर तांको ड्यू प्लेस हिस्ट्री रे पाई नाहंती। से 14 वर्ष एज रु से नेवी जॉइन करथिले। से बोधे भारत रे गोटे ही लोक जे सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वार तापर आम जिते युद्ध लड़ीचु करगिल पूर्वर सबुथ योगदान देइछंती। हाईएस्ट अवार्ड गैलेंट्री रो पाइछंती। से नेवी चीफ हवा कथा, किंतु सेतेबेले भी बहुत गोटे पार्सी लॉबी डोमिनेट करथला। से ही पार नथिले। तांको बहुत थरे से एमती सुपरसीड करिकी जो लेवल को आछंती। हमर कहवा कथा से गोटे ओडिसा रे गर्व। खाली सेति कि नुहे, से गोटे लिविंग हिस्ट्री। 98 वर्ष रे से पूरा आर्टिकुलेट तांकर सब माने ऑल एक्टिविटीज नाइ। से पूरा निज काम निजे करंती। आ तांको पाखरे जेतिकी तांकर एक्सपीरियंस अछि, से जेतिकी सब जानिचंती इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस भितर कि हमर स्ट्रेंथ भितर बहुत कम लोक ओडिसा रे एमती अछंती। विजय दिवस गला एबे निकट रे बहुत दुख लगिला हमको कि तांको माने गवर्नमेंट को ऑनर भी करला नहीं। जदि सही स्ट्रक्चर लोक पंजाब, यूपी, हरियाणा, हिमाचल रे कोठी हेई थांते तांको को लेवल को मुझे पुणी कहली ही इज द लास्ट लिविंग लेजेंड। तांको ए जो सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वार रो आउ को लोक भी एबे बंची नाही। 98 वर्ष तांकर एज से काई एते बंच से मात्र 14 वर्ष रे नेवी जॉइन करथि। सेतबेले जॉइन करि पारुथिले। गोटे बही भी लिखिचंती, बहुत सुंदर बही लिखिचंती। ताको अनुवाद करिया कथा ओडिया रे। तांकर जोति की ब्रेवरी रो ये अछि एबे भी से निजे कहिले। आउ लोकलोचन को आसीबा कथा।
आज सर तांको का पर तांको सम्मानित करा
किछि आज हम गोटे छोटो सेरेमनी एमती सब किछि सिटीजन रे मिसी के एमती किछि स्पेसिफिक तिलानी। हमें गोटे छोटो गेट टुगेदर। कोरोना टाइम चलछि, तांकर एते एडवांस स्टेज अछि, हमें चाहू नथिले बेसी भिड करियो।
एबे सुनंतु एस.एच. शर्मा निजे कहउछंती तांको जवान समय रो वीरत्व कहानी।
When I was doing my staff course in England, they said that if you wanted to be in time, you should have your speech written down and not speak extempore. Because when you speak extempore, you always exceed your time. Well, friends, today we continue to celebrate the 50th year of our victory over Pakistan. Let us all remember the gallant warriors of India who over the years laid down their lives for our country, and observe a minute's silence in their memory. All of you must have many questions to ask, but if you allow me, I will tell you in a nutshell what we did in the Eastern Fleet to help with the war. First, we deceived the Pakistanis into believing that the Vikrant was in Madras or Visakhapatnam, whereas in actual fact we were elsewhere. This was a trap set for the Pakistani submarine PNS Ghazi. As history has shown, they fell into it and PNS Ghazi was sunk off Visakhapatnam. Now, PNS Ghazi and I were friends for a long time. In 1965, when I was escorting the Vikrant from Bombay to Cochin, my ship, the Brahmaputra, got a contact, submarine contact. We changed that contact. Normally, a ship to a submarine the submarine has the advantage, and you want at least two ships to sink the submarine. But anyhow, the Pakistani submarine escaped, they went to Karachi and claimed that they had sunk the Brahmaputra. And they were all rewarded with high honors, military honors. Now, when our admiral heard about this, he invited all the diplomats available in Bombay and got them all on board the Brahmaputra and said, "Gentlemen, now you are standing on sunken ship because Pakistan claims that they have sunk this ship." With regard to the Eastern Fleet, we had orders to blockade the whole of the East Pakistan and keep INS Vikrant at least 100 miles away from the enemy coast, so that their bombers and fighter aircraft could not attack the Vikrant. We also had orders to make only 5 air raids on the enemy. But of course, if we stayed, my fighter aircraft had a range of only 100 miles. So if I stayed 100 miles away, we would be like two boxers trying to box from our own corners without making contact. So I talked this over with the captain of the Vikrant, and we arranged to stay 60 miles, redispose our defences so that we could reach any part of East Pakistan from the central position we were in. I realized the 100-mile distance and merely 5 air raids were not going to help us to defeat the enemy. In order for us to defeat them, we had to destroy their aircraft and airfields and make it safe for the fleet to operate close to the enemy coast. So I took the entire fleet, including my flagship, the Vikrant, as close as 60 miles off East Pakistan. From this range, our carrier-launched aircraft could make their attacks and return with some fuel left in there. That means within the range. Normally, air attacks are planned before sunrise and after sunset, when the grey skies make it difficult for anti-aircraft gunners to see the aircraft. After such an air raid, the enemy would settle down and hope for several hours of peace and quiet, in time which to assess the damage and repair what was possible. We, on the other hand, had other plans. Once war was formally declared, we were positioned just 60 miles off the enemy coast. We launched our aircraft and flew the 60 miles to their target in just 12 to 15 minutes, bombed the enemy target and returned to Vikrant. Our target on one day was the enemy airfield south of Chittagong, called Akyam. As soon as they returned from the first air raid, the aircraft was refueled, re-ammunitioned, relaunched for the next air raid. This continued for several hours on the first day, so much so the damage inflicted was extensive and the enemy did not get any respite or time to repair their airfields to the counterattack. All in all, we made 93, I repeat, 93 air raids against the 5 originally planned, totally destroying their coastal airfields and their aircraft based on the coast and making as the skies over the Bay of Bengal safe for the Indian fleet to operate. We did, however, detect a submarine contact, and one of my ships, the INS Kamorta, attacked the suspected submarine. After the attack, all the ships of the Eastern Fleet with me, they heard words like "Bachao, Bachao," as if it was from the Pakistani soldiers. Several times. A few days later, we saw a number of small ships at the very same location. To this day, I don't know if we had actually sunk another Pakistani submarine or a submarine loaned to the Pakistan Navy. As regards the blockade, the initial purpose of the blockade was to prevent the enemy from being resupplied with arms, ammunition, and manpower. Once the tide of war turned against the enemy, the purpose of the blockade changed. Now we had to prevent the enemy from escaping and capture them. We achieved the first within a few days of the declaration of war by making the enemy ports and airports unsafe unless by any supply or ship by aircraft. As regards the blockade preventing the enemy escape by sea, capture of 93,000 total enemy troops is an excellent testament of how successful our blockade was. This was a historic record without precedent. Then I want to tell you about a ship called the Falcon Fels. It's a large and fast German ship which was leaving the East Pakistani coast. Now I had a ship chasing that ship to board, and she was also a 24-knot ship, but she sometime made a signal that she could catch up with this German ship. So I ordered one of my aircraft to drop a bomb about 100 yards ahead of this German ship. It was set to shallow, and there was a big splash, and the German ship stopped and said, "Please don't shoot," and was collected. Now, what happens is, whenever an encounter takes place, a merchant ship, she tries to tell her agents that she is under attack, and naval ships have to try and jam this signal. But I said, no, don't jam it. Let the agents in Singapore and Colombo know that the Bay of Bengal was unsafe for any ship without the permission of the Indian Navy or the Eastern Fleet. There were many stories of bravery that I can relate, but the one which needs telling is that of a pilot whose aircraft was very badly damaged by anti-aircraft fire. It was riddled with bullets and could have disintegrated on landing. The pilot was ordered, I personally was on the bridge and spoke to him to ditch his aircraft into the sea and eject for rescue by helicopter. The pilot ignored these orders and brought the aircraft back safely, all at great personal risk. Such was the valor of our forces. As President Yahya Khan of Pakistan publicly declared in the 1970 after the war, he was addressing a press conference. He said the capitulation of our forces in East Pakistan would not have been so precipitate or complete without the strangling action of the Indian Navy. I thought it was a very fine tribute from the enemy. On a personal note, I also ask everyone to remember the families of the warriors on the battlefront for whom the stress of possibility of losing their loved ones. is indescribable. We must thank all of them. Thank you, one and all, for remembering. Jai Hind.
Vice Admiral Shirilal Sharma ki jai.